Hey, what's going on, booze and ghouls? Welcome back to Living Dead Fan Presents the FogCast. This is episode number 11. I cannot wait for this one. This guest has been on a previous episode, so we didn't get to finish. I felt like we didn't have enough time to talk to our guest that first time.
There
So
was so much to talk about.
so much. So we're so excited to bring our guest back, and we can't wait.
I know. Should we just bring them on, or should we do a little teaser about what we're talking about?
Do a little teaser real quick.
All right. So obviously, we had so much to talk about the last time. And how do you even explain Scott Dieterman to someone who's not in the haunt world? I mean, this guy has just really been around since the beginning. He is sliding. It's where sliding came from. What is sliding? If you guys have ever been to one of our local haunts and you guys have seen the madness that goes on in the scare zones, in the streets, if you've paid attention to Midsummer Scream, uh, the horror convention in LA, and so many other places, you see these stunt actors with all the gear on, sliding across the floor, sparks flying, stunts being done. And this is one of the OGs that made that come to life and is still bringing it all to life to this day.
Still bringing it. It's still
Pretty
going
cool.
strong. Something that started many years ago. But again, welcome everyone to the Fogcast. I'm Living Dead Dad, and with me I have.
Hey guys, I'm Living Dead Mom.
And we cannot wait. Yeah, I'm so excited. Let's go ahead and bring them on, ladies and gentlemen. Please help us welcome one of the original sliders from Ghost Town in Knott's Berry Farm. Should I say not Scary Farm in Buena Park, California, USA. One of the OG sliders. One more time. Welcome back to the Fogcast, Scott Dieterman.
Hey guys.
Hello, Eric.
Thanks for having me back on. Very much appreciated.
Absolutely. There's just so much that we didn't get to cover the first time around. So we have so much to get into again this time around. We cannot wait for this episode.
Yes, it was a lot last time, but I mean, after talking to you guys again, I honestly was kind of scratching my head. I'm like, holy cow, there's a lot of bullet points that we didn't we didn't get to.
It's all good. That's why we do this. So again, anyone that's been on the previous show before, everyone's more than welcome back. But Scott, what you been up to lately? What's new and exciting in your world?
Well, my life is pretty boring, but I'm still out there, working with sliders on a regular basis, weekly basis. I work with the Queen Mary team. A couple weeks ago, I actually headed up one of their boot camp days. They asked me to come on and do that. So I got to basically, yeah, it was. So basically, I got to give people an insight of what my clinics kind of contain. It was how many hours was it? I think it's like 3 hours. So it was just a glimpse of what my training really provides these guys. Because it's a long process, but I was able to knock out quite a bit of stuff in that short amount of time with those people. It was great.
Very fun. And I can't wait to get into the meat and potatoes of this, because Scott, you were just recently, we'll go over this in a little bit later, but you were recently in St. Louis, Missouri at one of the world's biggest haunt trade shows, professional haunters, home haunters, Trans World. I can't wait to talk about that. I haven't met anyone yet that's been there, but I'm so excited to dive into that here.
I know. So much to talk about. Obviously, you are a big part of our Choc fundraising event, putting together the Slider Coalition for that. All of your behind the scenes haunt industry insight, the future of sliding. Just there's so much that's going on here. And if you are watching live, one of the reasons we like to live stream these is so that you guys can ask your questions. So we're going to kind of get into the flow of our questions. Keep your questions fresh in mind. And at the end, we'll go ahead and shoot those off so Scott can answer those. So let's get right into it with question number 1. When did you realize you were becoming more than just a haunt performer?
Um, I would say pretty early on, right around 2000. It started to the point where I'd say I was out there being talent. I'd already been at Knott's for about 10 years. 2000 was the mark of my fourth, wait, 96, 97, 99, my fifth year in Ghost Town. And that's when an influx of happened when a lot of people started asking me, hey, how do you do this? You know, not just sliding, but a little bit of character work here and there, mostly sliding back then. But yeah, right about 2000 is when I started getting an influx of people asking me questions, along with some of the other prehistoric time, you know, the dinosaurs, dinosaur talent that I worked with at the time as well. So about that time, I was like, this is turning into something more than just talent. It was kind of crazy, actually.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Also, in a familiar area, since when I used to work for the Walt Disney Company, I had the unique opportunity to help train and guide the puppeteers there, which also was kind of managing it as well too. But the question I have for you is, what was the hardest lesson you learned managing people in this realm of sliding?
Well, I always had the approach of, instead of being a manager, being a leader and a coach instead. Mm-hmm. Yes, the role was management supervisor, but I didn't look at it as like, hey, you need to do this because I said so.
Yeah,
I wanted to mentor them to be better, but because I had that background, it was a little bit easier for me to transition. But even still, my first year when I moved into management, I had to realize that there's so many even greater different personalities at a haunt event as opposed to being, you know, a team coach for a club or a high school or a college. So I had to figure out real quick how to transfer the information to all these different personalities to get them to perform at the same level to meet the same goal. Because everybody accepts the information differently.
Right. And everyone interprets the information differently too. And I'm sure some learn faster than others. And that's probably like a good way for you to pick out in the crowd. Okay, well, I can teach this guy, you know, I can go a little easier on him because this person picks it out quicker. This one I need to spend a little more time with. I'm sure that kind of goes with the same with in your teaching areas.
Yeah. And the thing was too, is like, I got kind of thrown into the fire my first year, because my first year was 2010 in management, and I was managing Ghost Town. Shortly into the season, I was asked to take over CS as well, because something happened over there, and the main lead wasn't coming back. So I went from just over 100 people under my watch to about 160, 170.
Wow.
And one bunch in between two zones. But as you guys know, Ghost Town and CS are close together by the front gate.
Right.
So it was a short walk, but bouncing back and forth, you know.
And for those
I would stop over there once or twice a night.
For those that don't know, what is CS?
Camp Snoopy, which is the gauntlet.
The gauntlet at Camp Snoopy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
how different is it in that leadership role with sliders compared to traditional haunt actors? Is there a difference?
Yeah. One thing first is the mindset. To be real, is you have to bring the sliders' mindsets down to a normal level. They tend to be, they think they're a little bit better, and that does happen. You know, it's the nature of the beast. But the biggest thing though is the fact that there's a safety aspect that you need to add to it. So you're not just managing these guys as talent, but you also have to watch their sliding ability too when they're in crowded spaces to make sure everything's going well. When you add that safety factor, it can get a little daunting, but once you get into a groove, it's okay.
Yeah. I can't imagine, because you've got sliders in both areas, and
yeah,
hoping and that everything just goes fluid, because that's always going to be, I think, a fear factor, is those possibilities of the interaction with the audience going a little too far.
Exactly.
don't
And
know.
the thing is too, is that you can never 100% reduce, get rid of any kind of risk factor or injury possibility, because
Mhm.
you don't know what's going to happen every time. All you can do is try to reduce the what's the word I'm looking for? Reduce the chances, the possibilities of it as much as you can. So you have to be proactive in how you're working with these guys. Like, hey, this was good, but this is what could happen. You need to be aware of that. So next time you go in to do something like that, think for a second.
And I'm sure since you've been doing this for so long, you in your head you probably think I've seen it all, but I'm sure there's instances that probably happen. You're like, oh, I never thought of that, or oh, that probably could happen. So I'm sure you're still
Yeah.
running into some new challenges to this day.
Yes, very much so. It's just the nature of the beast. I mean, I tell people that too. Anybody that contracts me to train their people, I make it very clear. I go, I can greatly reduce the risk of injury and incidents, but it's impossible to eliminate them 100%. There's just no possible way, because there's too many unknown variables. Even with non-sliding, there's unknown variables.
That's true. That's true.
Absolutely. What makes a strong slider team culture?
The bond, and I wouldn't say family. I mean, tight teams call themselves family, but they have to be there to support each other and understand what the goal is and be willing to meet that goal, and know that, what, you can't do it without everybody else. Everybody's there for the same reason. You got to work and lean on each other. Yeah, in the heat of season 2, everybody's exhausted. And there's a lot going on, like your brain and your body are getting pulled in different directions. So there's this, I don't know if I mentioned it in part 1, but there's this thing called trauma bonding, and that is 100% real. People, you go through the same trauma as your team, and you got to lean on each other. You got to know you can lean on each other to push through it. It's crazy.
Oh, absolutely. A question from the YouTube audience. Do you guys have medical staff on standby?
Every event does. Like Knott's has their first aid department. Queen Mary does. Every event I've worked at has had a first aid, at least a first aid tent to tend to any injuries. So that's, yeah. Sometimes first aid isn't enough though. Sometimes they have to go off site to go to the hospital and get checked out. It's just, again, it's the nature of the beast, and it's a part of the job, but we still love doing what we do.
Absolutely. I know even at the event that we'll be doing in June, we'll have a nurse there with a first aid
Great.
kit ready to
Because I might break another finger. No, I'm just kidding.
You got 9 more, right?
Yeah.
Too much. Okay. One of the other talking points we wanted to discuss was Slider documentaries.
Oh yeah.
You've got some more in-depth stuff on that.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. What documentary? I can't even say that word. Documentary, or maybe project has captured sliding the best? Or
sliding in general, that was more focused on sliding. That would be Sliders of Ghost Town, but the OG of documentaries is Season of Screams, and that was done in early 2000s. Yeah, when they came in to do it, the day they came in, I remember this, like we were all together. I don't know if we were in a makeup space in Warehouse P or somewhere else, but they came in and our boss said, "Hey, we got this guy doing a documentary and you guys are all going to be a part of it." We're like, okay. So, that was months and months of filming, and interviews and actually going out and filming sliding. It's funny too, because this was so long ago. Chapman, where we slide now, in that exact space had walls around it because it used to be a roller hockey rink. Yeah, the walls were still up. I mean, now, as you guys know, there's no more walls in that backspace. There's only one rink instead of two. Right. So we filmed there. We filmed at one or two other rinks, and then a high school that had this super fast polished concrete in their outside cafeteria area. It was insane. It was insane, you know. It was really fun though. We did some interviews at a park down the street from Knott's, just out in the open. We did some interviews in studio for the guys that ran it. It was funny too because they asked me if they could do a behind the mask portion on me, like a bio, and they were going to come to my work and film and everything, and which would have been crazy. I asked my boss. He said that's fine, just no trade secrets. I go, that's fine. I go, if I go out in the warehouse, the door's getting slammed in their face, that type of thing,
right?
You know. But yeah, they were all supposed to come, and then they ran out of time, so they couldn't do it.
Oh,
you know. Do you guys remember a haunt convention called Haunt X?
Haunt X. How long ago?
Yeah,
when was that?
It's still operating now under different ownership out of Pomona, but initially it was out of Santa Maria up north, like close to San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the year we did, we filmed for Season of Screams. We actually drove to Santa Maria to do a panel to promote the movie, to promote the documentary.
Huh.
And that was, I'm not going to lie, that was crazy. Like, Ted Doherty was the moderator, and he's like, oh, you know, we're going to do this real quick. It's probably going to be, the room's probably going to be half full or less. And we get there, we're cruising around, we're sitting at the Haunted Media booth, and people were already coming up to us before the documentary, but we couldn't really engage with them because we're ready to go.
Right.
And we look out the ballroom, and we look down the hall. The line is all the way down the hall and outside the building to get into the panel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when we got in and sat down, they started letting people in. It was standing room only. They had to close the doors because the room was beyond capacity.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy. And it was only supposed to be like 30 minutes. And I think we ran just over twice that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Wow.
So
yeah.
It was in high demand, obviously. Like, you guys probably could have been there for 2 hours easily.
Oh, easily. And the thing was too, Season of Screams didn't just cover sliding; it covered Scary Farm as a whole. So there's different segments, and there was people up there basically representing each segment. Like, obviously, I represented the Slider segment,
right,
and covered that, and then everybody else had other sections, and then we would, you know, bounce off each other with information and questions and whatnot. But that was crazy. It was unexpected, but once we got settled and it was cool. The thing that was really unexpected, for me anyway, is when we went back to the Haunted Media booth, who's the guys that produced it. We went back to Haunted Media booth and we sat down, and they told them, hey, if you guys want to meet him, you can come over. If you want autographs, fine, right? We were sitting at the table signing autographs for over 3 hours.
Oh my god.
Holy cow. That's cool.
Yeah. It was so crazy. It got to a point to where people were giving us cocktail napkins to sign. Not even joking. I'm like, this is a cocktail napkin. We don't care. We want you to sign it.
Are there any Scott Dieterman tattoos running around out there?
No. Hopefully not.
Not that you know of.
Yeah. Well, talking about tattoos, I was thinking about getting a tattoo of my own character, like a portrait of my own character.
Oh, I love
that. Would be cool.
Yeah, but I doubt I'll ever do that at this point.
You should.
So,
you should. Now,
but it was a cool experience though to have that. It's like, holy cow, you know.
I bet.
With these documentaries, do you feel that there's anything that gets left out?
That's hard to say. You know, in hindsight, I think most things were covered. The second one that came through, obviously there was current day sliding footage, but there was history too. So I was able to bring in like all the history in that. I was able to bring in all the guys I used to work with from back in the day, and they all came in and interviewed, you know, and did, you know, sit down interviews for that documentary. It was pretty cool to see that.
Where can people find that?
They all should be on YouTube. Season of Screams and Sliders of Ghost Town.
Okay.
I don't.
Sliders of Ghost Town before.
Yeah, Season of Scream should be on YouTube as well. That's
Awesome.
I think that's over 2 hours long too. So
Awesome.
it's crazy. Yeah, that was a wild ride to film that though. I mean, already at that time too, sliding had already gone global before that. Like I think I said this in part one, is that we came across a video of guys sliding in Japan in the late 90s.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine if that was 2 hours long. I can only imagine how much of that was edited out. Like there must be additional footage and hours of behind the scenes that didn't make it into that final cut.
Yeah, there has to be. I mean, I gotta look, but I think I have two versions of it. Because if one version came out, there's some stuff that had to be edited out at the time. Like really diving into gear building and stuff like that. At that time, we're like, well, no, that has to come out. Now it's readily available, and we discuss that I discuss it with everybody that asks.
Right.
You know, back then I guess it was just more of a safety thing. It's like, we can't do that. You know, but now it's like, hey, you get people the right gear, they're going to be safer.
Right. Right.
So I got a lot of behind the scenes photos though, and I don't know where they're at, but I have them. I had them.
You got to share them with us when you do find them. We'd love to see
I will. I will.
Speaking of that, I'm sure everyone's got their ideas of what sliding's like and this and that, but for you personally, what are the misconceptions of sliding that drive you absolutely crazy?
Well, the biggest thing is like everybody seems to think it's a piece of cake and you want to jump into it and do tricks right away. That drives me nuts. It's like, if you guys want to learn, you got to learn the right process.
Right.
And get to where you want to be without getting hurt 1, 2, 5, 20 times. You know, that slows you down. You know, that's a big thing. Another misconception is people think it's still, it doesn't annoy me, but I think it bears mentioning. People think it's something new and they don't realize it's been going on for over 30 years.
Wow.
You know, it's insanity, you know, but it's just the way it is. Like, I mean, I have a reel on my Instagram page that somebody else tagged me as a collaborator on that went completely viral. And I just looked at it today on the count. It's at 890,000 views.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Yeah. There's a lot of hate in the comments too, but in some of the comments, there's positivity as well. So there's way more positivity as opposed to negativity. And even still, it doesn't matter. We're going to do what we want to do. It's like, guys, call us weird. We're the weirdos. We're out here having a good time, getting exercise,
Right.
making friends.
And we're that badge proud. We're all weirdos around here.
We are the weirdos.
Exactly. You know,
do you think
it's crazy that the way what they compare us to, it's like those aren't even in the same realm.
Oh man. Can you give a quick example? What were they comparing you guys to?
Have you guys ever heard of gloving? The kids that go to raves and they have lights on their fingers and they do things with their hands.
Oh, I've seen that. I didn't know there was a word for that.
Yeah, they compare us to that. It's like, how? It's not the same thing.
clearly not the same thing?
Yeah, and also this, I've never heard of it, and I saw like this thing called hobby horse competitions.
Okay.
It's basically a hobby horse, basically a horse head with a stick, right? And you ride it like you're a horse. There's actually competitions where people do that, and it's like equestrian, where people are doing this and they actually jump over the steeples and stuff. And I was like, dude, these people are athletic as hell too.
Yeah.
They're jumping like 4 feet high.
Wow.
It seems like,
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, and also they compare us to furries, or, we'd rather be a furry. It's like, okay, then go be a furry. That's cool.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. So I think that rolls into the next question is, do you think sliders get enough respect as a performance art?
Yes and no. It's hard to explain, and I think a lot of the lack of respect comes from within our community. There's a lot of negativity around sliding, which is a bummer. It really bums me out. like there's other parks are like screw sliders. We don't need them here or whatever. Oh, there's no room for them. And it's like,
Yeah.
I've been to some of these parks, like actually there is, you know, the thing is that, and the thing is too, a lot of these people don't understand there's actually somebody, me, that goes out there and develops these teams and sliders for other parks and makes it so they're safe and functional for the event, not just the slide. So that's it's a tough one. But some people don't understand the value of it yet either. It does elevate an event, no matter how you look at it. But the slider's got to be brought in properly, in my opinion. Because there's a lot of recklessness out there.
Yeah. I agree with you that. Well, I disagree with the ones that say there's no room for sliders, because it just wasn't that long ago. I believe it was Six Flags that actually had a holiday Christmas version of a sliding show. So there's value. They did see the value in this art form. I wish that would continue on throughout the year at other theme parks. And how clever was that to bring sliding into the holiday season? I think that's incredible.
Yeah, and the Creep It Real Festival too. You guys know Creep It Real. When I was still managing the Queen team, they reached out to bring them in to do a slider show for their Christmas event.
Right.
And that was awesome.
Absolutely.
Mind you, Megan and Kevin are just great people too.
Oh yeah. We love them.
They put on awesome events.
Yeah, it's great. And it keeps growing.
Huge.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
They're running out of space.
That's a good problem to have.
It is and it isn't, because it's expensive.
That too.
All right, Scott, I want to back up a little bit to the first time we had you on the podcast. We're going to touch a little bit on charity and our Choc event. But what brought us to that started with a story you told us.
And that was off camera when that happened, I believe. If I can remember.
I believe it may have been off camera. I know you know the story I'm talking about. So
yes.
I would really love if you would tell everybody that story, and then we can branch off of there and talk about the event we have coming. But it was Scott telling us a story that just A, yanked on my heartstrings, but B, that is where the light bulb went off in my head to do what we're getting ready to do here in June. So take it away.
Yeah. Well, the story you're referring to was this little girl that had cancer. I think she was 7 or 8 at the time. I was at the rink like I always was. At the time I was, I don't recall if I was already managing the QM team. But I know there was a lot of people there, and one of the parents just approached me. She knew who I was already because I'd been, she knew through her kid and me being there all the time. And she gave me this story. She's like, "Hey, I have a friend that has a daughter that has cancer. She loves sliders, but she's never been well enough to go and see them, at knots and whatnot." She's like, "Do you think you could put something together to do like a little show for her here at the rink?" And I said, "Absolutely." I go, "Just give me a few weeks to see what I can muster up and draw some people together." And I was able to pull in a bunch of people, and extra people jumped in too that I didn't talk to, which turned out to be great. Initially, I was like, "Oh no, this is going to be a problem." I didn't actually slide in that one. I just organized it and I observed, but it was like a demo show. It was all impromptu, jump tricks, slider peed and free slide, all that kind of stuff, limbo. And my biggest thing was watching what the sliders are doing, and then turning around and seeing a little girl sitting there with a huge grin on her face, seeing something she hadn't been able to see in person. So she was able to see that, in person. And that was something that was like, when I was approached with it, I didn't even hesitate. It was something that we can bring a smile to, a child's face that hasn't been able to see sliders, in person, that has been wanting to, was amazing. It was a small thing, it didn't take a lot of effort to reach out and start talking to some people. It's like, hey, this is what I got on my plate. I was asked to do this. What do you think? You interested? And I don't think I had one no. Everybody was like, absolutely, or yes, let's do it when. And then I started planning the day, had her come out, and then we did a big, massive picture with her in the middle. Everybody around her. It was great. It was a great night for her. I was super hyped on being able to, put a smile on her face, and everybody else was super stoked to be a part of it. So it was great.
Awesome.
That's awesome. So after hearing that story, we got to put in our heads together, and I came to you to ask if that would be a possibility again. And so with that, you're really kind of the beginning main focus of this event, and bringing in sliders from other teams, other areas. So tell us how the Slider Coalition came together.
So this falls into, I know we were going to talk about my vision in the future of sliding. So this falls into that. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit and then move forward. My vision for sliding has always been ever since like early 2000s. It's always been like, I wanted to grow outside the haunt community and do things like charity events. It doesn't have to be haunt related. It doesn't have to be costumes. It can be just the act of sliding, the art form, putting on a demo or a show for an event for a cause. And now with this coalition, basically the coalition is, I have a list of sliders from different areas, different teams, different parks and everything that I trust, that I would be willing to call up and say, hey, I have this thing coming up. It's no pay, but it's for a charity, like what we're doing. This is what's going to happen. Are you interested? Every person I asked was 100% yes, we'd love to be a part of it. Because then they also feel like sliding can be more than what it is just at haunt events. It can be something else to help raise money for, like we're going to try to raise money for Choc Walk, and I don't know if you guys know this, but this was my first opportunity to pull from that list to do an event of this nature.
Awesome.
That's rad.
Awesome.
Yeah. So the history, for me in the future is that's what I want to do. I wanted to continue to grow around the world, but I also wanted to be able to have more of an impact in other realms, and Choc is an amazing. I'm so stoked that you asked me to do this, and everybody like I said, like the first guys I talked to were some of the Queen guys, and they're all like 100% we're on board, and that's to me what sliding is more about than just doing stuff inside the realm of Halloween. Absolutely. In the community.
Absolutely. We're excited too, and thank you so much for taking this on and helping us put this together. What excites you most about this event being planned?
I'm sorry, what was that? You cut out for a second.
What excites you the most about this event being planned?
Well, the biggest thing is raising the money. I don't know how much us being there is going to help raise money, but the fact that we're there to help raise money for, kids that need that, for the hospital that needs that for their care, that's huge. Yeah. And also secondary is that knowing now that there's so many people on my list that I already thought there were, but you just never know, on my list that are like, they're behind this type of project. That's why I call it the coalition, because we're not one group. We're from different factions, different, teams and events coming together for this. So those two things are really cool. And it's telling me that, especially this current generation, there's people out there that are like, yeah, we're down to do this. It's not about it, and it's not about them. It's about what we're bringing to these kids. We want to entertain them, put a smile on their face, and have a good time for ourselves and raise some money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Why do you think it's important for the haunt community to show up for a cause like this?
It's a simple fact is knowing that, you show up, prove that it's not just about you. What we do stretches way outside of just the haunt community. doing something like this definitely shows that, hey, you know what? We want to help others.
That's
You know,
right.
yeah, we may be weirdos, but guess what? We're helpful. You know, we do this for a reason, not just because we think it's cool, you know, even though other people think we're nuts, you know?
I think it's definitely, I know there's a lot of charity events out there. I think that this one has a twist of being inclusive to, if you will, us weirdos.
Yeah.
And I think it's good. I think it's a little different from things we've seen before. So you guys
Yeah.
in the chat, drop hearts for everyone in the haunt community donating time and talent for this event. We are beyond excited.
Yeah, I'd like to
And
add
that's the
too,
thing too. Oh,
I think
sorry,
what's
Damon, go
really,
ahead.
oh no, you're good. Just real quick, I think it's really neat about this, and one of our purposes for live streaming, specifically Haunt and Scary Farm, because not many people know what sliding is or what mazes are, haunted houses. To this day, we still get people coming into our live stream saying, "Oh, what is this?
What is this? Where
This
are
is pretty
you?"
cool. What's Halloween?"
Yeah.
Some don't even celebrate the holiday.
Yeah.
What I think
Yeah.
is really cool, though, Scott, is that we're bringing this to Chalk. To this, we're bringing this to the event. With you included. I think it's really neat because people that watch our live streams, there might be a young person there that might look up to this and say, "I want to do that." I think
Yeah.
what's really cool is bringing this up close so they can actually physically see what's going on. I think this is huge.
Exactly.
This is huge. This is bringing attention to what this sport and art form is to the next generation at this Chalk event.
Yeah. See, that's the thing too. I mean, this is going to backtrack a little bit. You just brought up something that struck a chord in my brain, Damien, is that one of the other frustrations for me with sliding is that a lot of the negativity that we get is based off of people not being educated on what we do and why we do it.
Mm,
You know, it's not for everybody. We understand that,
right.
but this is something we love to do because we love Halloween. We love the haunt community, you know, and now we're doing stuff outside that, you know, like me personally, I hope there's a lot of patients there that we can interact with. And I hope that they would want to come over to the photo op space and take pictures with us.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what I think for me, that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Yeah, the demo is going to be fun and stuff, but I want to engage with these kids.
That's right.
You know,
that's our next biggest focus is hitting the hospitals, and because Radies and Choc are now one, which means that there are even way more children that are being cared for under this umbrella. So we're going to be hitting the hospitals in the next couple weeks, all the way through, leaving flyers everywhere we can, hitting the cars parked outside. So we're definitely focusing on bringing in as many of those kids as possible. And you know what? Even just for them to have a break for a day, just 4 hours to come and relax and listen to music, eat good food. We've got a magician there. We have music. We've got you guys. We've got awesome vendors showing up, awesome desserts. Like, we've got stage fright theater coming as well. It's just going to be a really great day.
I don't think 4 hours is going to be enough.
I have thought on that actually, but I have thought on that, but you know, this place is being donated to us, which is just amazing, which again, thank you to the Dr. Willella. I have the hardest time with her name.
Dr. Will Waffle House.
There you go.
Waffle House and Medical Museum. What they're doing for us is beyond amazing, and we are beyond grateful. And I think that we're really putting something cool together. So not just to raise funds, but also hopefully to bring some smiles that day to some children from Choc. That will be cool.
Yeah. Bring some normalcy to their life for a short time.
Or even a little weirdness, right?
Yeah, a little weird. Yeah, a little weirdness, you know. You know, everybody's been, you know, I just put out a group. I just put together a group chat with them, and everybody is, you know, they're on board and they're excited to do this. So, you know, quick shout out to everybody that's a part of this coalition for the Choc Walk. And
I
thanks
think
for
we've got some of
committing
your
some
guys
time.
in here as well. I know I saw the Esco sliders come in. I
Yes.
think we may have some of your other sliders in there. So welcome in, everybody, and thank you guys for joining. I know we haven't had a chance to talk to everybody, but we can't wait to meet everybody, and thank you guys personally.
Yeah, it'll be great. I feel like I know this M.H Reels, but I don't recognize that handle. I feel like I know that person though.
He's from our community, from our YouTube community. He's
Okay.
always in our chats. Yeah, you've probably seen him in our chats before.
Could be.
Yeah.
Very well could be.
So I know we touched a little bit on the future of sliding.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see sliding in 5 to 10 years from now?
Well, the track record that it's on, I think right now it's at a little bit of a plateau, which is normal for anything in the growth of things. But I think that, and I'd say in the next year or two, it's on the verge of just increasing again and exploding. More and more people are picking it up every day, which is weird. It's a weird thing. It's not like a typical, regular everyday sport or whatever, but more and more people are interested in doing it. I just hope that said people are, they want to take the time to learn the process the right way so they can do it for a long, long period of time. I mean, that's why I've been able to do it for so long. I've done it the right way. And, I want to pass that knowledge off. I want to see it grow more on a world scale, which I think it will, with my friends out there in Australia, Kaiju and Zeno. Great couple. They're leading the front out in Australia. I've talked to people in Holland, Germany, all over the country, the US. And yeah, I want to see it continue to grow. Even when my time is done, I want to see it, like when I'm done and out of the industry, I want to see what the next that generation brings to the table. I mean, it's insane what guys are doing now. It's far beyond what I thought it was going to be initially. And I had a pretty broad picture of what it could be, and it's gone beyond that already. So it's exciting to see it continue to grow.
What do you think needs to change?
I think the community needs to be more supportive of each other. There's still a lot of negativity and faction splits. It does get a little better every year, but there's still way too much of it. It's like there's no reason for that. We're all doing the same thing. Let's support each other and make the community, the slider community inside the honk community, even stronger and more positive. Be the example for the rest of the honk community. Right. A lot of people don't see that, but sliders have a lot of influence over other talent, over non-sliding talent. Whether it's good or bad, there's influence there. So to have more of a positive influence on people would be way better.
Yeah. In your opinion, Scott, what do you think causes such friction or negativity in this community? What does it root from, you think?
For me, it roots from, there's a lot of people, for some reason, they think just because you work in another zone or a different park, they're enemy talent.
I see.
Or I'm better than you type of thing. And, like I've said it before too, the whole streets to maze mentality has gotten better, but it's still there and it shouldn't be. Mazes are just as important as street talent and vice versa. Don't think you're better than them because you're a street talent, because guess what? Your position can be taken away at any given time.
That's right.
Right. Thanks for putting me on the spot, Damien.
but here, let me follow up with this, Scott. I think what needs to happen, and not to toot our own horns, including you, Scott, is I think what's really cool, I think what's going to squash that negativity, Scott, is more events like this. I think
I would agree.
At the end of the day, when we're all sliding for a cause and the positivity that it's going to have, I hope moving forward that this could be something to where everyone could come together and say, hey, you were that slider at that event. I was sliding right next to you. Like, how cool would that be? in the future,
Yeah.
that everyone can come together for a common cause, a common goal to raise funds for
Yeah.
Children's Hospital Orange County.
And Choc is outside the community. For in the community, it's Sliders Unite.
Right.
You know, so it's the same thing, and that's why I developed that concept for within the community. You know, but my vision's always been, I want to move out. I want sliding to move outside the haunt community, always.
Absolutely.
You know, and this is a perfect. It's like a parlay. You know, perfect parlay into outside the community, and I think it's going to be great. You know, even if we completely blow it on the demo, I think it's still going to be great because, you know, we're providing entertainment for the kids.
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
Yeah.
What gives you hope about the sliding future?
I guess when I look at it, I do see more positivity from people that are in it, and that's always a good thing. That's I think what keeps me hanging on. I mean, I don't know if I told you guys, but there's been probably 4 or 5 times where I really thought about just saying screw it and walking away, being done with the industry 100%. But then that positivity and a lot of the people that I know that I'm really close to that I met through the industry, just being there and seeing how they engage people draws me back. And also knowing it's like, I'm not done yet. I still have more to give to the talent that will accept what I have to give, you know? Cause I look at it this way. I don't have to work at a park or anything to continue to mentor and train talent.
So when you're out there with these guys, what advice are you giving them?
It depends on the scenario. Like if we're out there just you know, free sliding, whatever, they're trying something, it's like, give it a shot. You know, it's like, who cares who's watching? Just go out there and do it. We're here to support you, dude. And we'll root you on if you don't do it, or if you don't stick it or you stick it. We're here to back you up, you know? And I haven't been perfect. I know that. I've had some issues with past talent where I didn't even realize it. And then, you know, later on down the line, they spoke with me and we talked about it. And I apologized and accepted responsibility for what I did. And now our bond is way better than it was even before it happened, you know? And I mean, if I see somebody talking negatively to another person, like in our community, I see it, I'll go and shut it down. I don't care. It's like, hate me. I don't care. Don't be an ass to that person.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely. I think there's so much growth in that when you finally arrive at a place in your life where you can just accept responsibility.
Yeah.
It's so much easier said than done.
It is. It's tough, and the road to creating more positivity in our community is it's still an uphill battle. You know, you make headway, you know, you get 5 steps up, you're sliding back another 7 steps. So, you know, it's hit or miss.
Do you think that sliding is finally becoming recognized as its own art form?
Yes. I think it still has a long way to go, though. Honestly, I mean, there's so much talent out there, which I know you guys have seen. Like from what we did back in the day as being top notch to now it's night and day. You know, you can't even compare it anymore. The kids are learning faster now. You know, they're picking up the skills so quick, you know, and that's here too, like in California, but in Florida, it's completely different. It's 2-3 times faster out there. Their learning curve. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and then to be fair to you, Scott, when you started, there was no internet back then. So
correct.
Today, if someone could just click on a video and there's so much information out there on building and gear and sliding, and that's what makes it evolve so much faster as opposed to when you guys were starting a long time ago. It was crash and burn.
Oh, 100%. Like, I mean, I wish I could show you guys the gear I had back then, but it's all gone. You know, some of it got stolen.
Yeah.
Some of it I gave away because I never thought about it back then. You know, I just wanted to go out there, have a good time, teach people how to do it, be good, and be safe at it.
Absolutely.
You know, and now it's a whole business.
It really
That's
is.
crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. It's a
I
whole
talk to new people almost on a pretty regular basis about giving them insight on equipment and how to learn. And I tell them, hey, if you have any questions, I may not be in your backyard, but shoot me a DM. No question is a dumb question. Ask it and I will answer. I'm here to help.
That's right.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, we're going to go off path a little bit and then come back. We started talking a little bit about Trans World.
Yes.
What is your favorite Trans World memory?
Well, that's tough.
Scott, for those that
The
don't
reason-
know, a brief
Somewhat.
explanation. What exactly
is
is
Transworld?
Transworld? For no one knows anything about Transworld. Can you just do a quick little minute recap of what Transworld is?
Transworld Convention is basically a show that's all Halloween related. It's geared to buyers for haunts. Vendors go there to show what they have new coming up. Props, fabrication, everything is there. Gear. That's where buyers from haunts go to pick up new product for their events, to put in their haunts. Talent can come there too. I noticed a lot of consumers on the floor this year too. Like I met a handful of, well, not a bunch, I'd say probably about 5 sliders from around the country. Came in, they stopped by the booth that I was at and they talked. I worked with Insane Haunt Productions this year. It has booth and it's like, hey, how's it going? And it's like, I knew who they were. They knew who I was, but we never talked. So we got to introduce ourselves and chat a little bit. So it was great, Awesome. So, yeah, I mean, it's basically a bigger Midsummer Scream, but more directed to buyers for events and stuff like that.
Would you say this is still the biggest Halloween convention in the nation at least?
I would say so. I know there's like East Coast Haunters, Midwest Haunters. Those are big ones too, which I haven't been to yet. I would like to get to at some point in my time in this business. But yeah, Transworld's pretty cool.
Was that your first time at Transworld?
My first time was 5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is something I didn't touch on. I actually have family in the industry too.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah, and my first year out there, he decided to branch out and start his own prop manufacturing company called Rib Effects. And yeah, he's people will say it's because he's family, but I don't care what anybody says. He's probably the best prop manufacturer in the industry.
Wow.
And everything he makes is hyper realistic. Every piece he makes is 100% sanitizable. You can spray them down with alcohol or steam clean them and they'll be sanitized. His stuff is absolutely amazing. So the first time I went out there, he called me, he's like, hey, I need help for Transworld. I'm starting my own business. Do you want to come? I said, okay. So I went out there with him the first time. And then I asked him year 2, I said, hey, you going to need me for Transworld again? And he said no, because he had another guy come to work for him that he needed to bring. And I'm like, all right, cool. Just making sure you're covered, And then this year, I went out there with Insane Haunt Productions because we're getting into that too. Like we have a partnership and development process now too. I have with them, but I worked with him and I didn't tell my cousin I was going. I was gonna surprise him the first day, and we were all in the building day before opening because we're still setting up. I'm walking down the aisleway and he's in front of me. He turns around, he's like, "What the hell are you doing here?" So it was a surprise. I'm like, surprise, So, but yeah, having family in the business is pretty cool. It's just me and my cousin are the only 2 in the business. Everybody else is like, yeah, okay.
Now, which one of you were first?
Me.
You were first. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
He's quite a bit younger, but he is like his talent his stuff is in haunts worldwide.
Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah. So this is something he told me when he started his business 5 years ago now that I was unaware of. So when he was young, his inspiration was Tom Savini.
There you go.
Okay.
And yeah, he wanted to get into movie effects. And then I kind of exposed them to the haunt industry. And once I exposed them to that, he shifted directions and went all haunt industry prop manufacturing. And now he's absolutely crushing it.
What's one of your favorite props that he's built so far that you've seen over the years?
Ooh, it's hard to say because everything he does is so hyper realistic. Like if you just go on the Rib Effects on Instagram,
okay,
and take a look, you'll see what I mean. It's Rib FX, not EFX.
Oh, Rib FX. Okay, we're gonna have to look at that.
Yeah, he's amazing at what he does, you know. And if I were to single out just one, it would probably be the fishmonger guy, which you'll see it like you look on his website or whatever. It's this thing that's got this big head. He's bald. It looks like a fish. He's got a big old jowly neck, and he's wearing like a raincoat outfit.
Is that it right
There's
there?
like a video right here, I think. I don't know if that even picks up on here.
The camera's up here.
I can barely see it.
It's the first video that pops up. I'm gonna have
it could be. Yeah, it's his stuff is amazing. I can't say that enough. You know, I mean,
that is so neat.
Yeah,
some incredible props here.
Holy cow!
There's definitely.
That doesn't take away.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not taking away from other prop fabricators in the industry because there's so many amazing ones out there. But
absolutely,
visually, from what I see, like his fabrications are better than anything I've seen. Wow. You know, it's like to me, you go to the mask realm, Immortal Masks, best silicone masks in the industry.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's if I ever win the lotto, I'm grabbing a pair of those masks or a catalog of masks. I'm sure they're well worth the price tag.
Yeah, I feel your pain because I want one. I've been wanting one of their masks for a long time and I can't afford it.
Right.
I have one from CFX that I bought years and years ago.
CFX. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I bought the silicone gloves too. Goes up to here.
No, you got to have the gloves, right? You just can't have the mask. You got to complete the whole outfit.
Yeah, but not gonna lie, you sweat like hell in those things.
Yeah. After a night of haunt, I'm sure that thing is just soaked.
Yeah, I would never slide in a full head silicone mask though. No way.
And at least you're not sitting in hours and hours a week of doing makeup and wigs. It's just you throw the mask on and you're hitting the pavement.
Yeah, you're good to go. Yeah,
it's probably the best part of those types of masks.
Yeah,
definitely less time in the chair. So you went to Transworld a few years ago. You got to go this year. What do you think changed between the two?
Well, the vibe of Transworld, it feels like it's gotten bigger from year one that I went to now year two. I was a little more engaged this year too because I was there for my own product, and I actually saw a lot of people I knew, and got to reconnect with them. So that was that's a good thing. Also too, this year, like I said, I saw a lot of non-buyers, consumers on the floor, you know, and that's great to see too. Yes, it does change it. Obviously, they're not going to be the ones that are buying because they can't just spend thousands of dollars on props. Some people might, right. You know, hey, I'm going to put this up in my house as a decoration. But it's cool to see that too and be able to, you know, so they're exposed to that. It definitely helped Insane Haunt Productions too, having consumers in there. We actually got quite a few orders from there, and I actually made connections with people in England and Scotland.
Wow,
that's awesome.
So yeah,
that's
where a lot of people come from all over the world.
That's incredible. What excites you the most about, you know, after going into Transworld, like where do you see the future going in this industry as far as like props go, lighting, audio, because there's so much that happens there at Transworld. What are you excited to see in the future that you did see at Transworld this year?
Just simply stated, the growth. You know, just see what people come up with next year and the year after, because every year something new comes out. You know, somebody comes up with a new idea or a new prop, and that's always cool to see, you know. So I mean, this year, which I hadn't seen before, there was a company now that actually makes fog packs that you can wear. Like, you know how Ghost Rider and Ghost Town had the smoking chest?
Right.
Wow.
So there was this company that actually had them, and it was crazy. They had these little portable ones too.
And they're actual fog
Pretty cool.
machines, or are they using dry ice, or?
They're like fog machines.
That's cool.
Super compact, yeah.
So you and I need to be wearing these when we do the FogCast.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Is cool.
Do you have any unforgettable or chaotic stories from Trans World?
No, not really. Nothing real chaotic. Some of the after parties we went through were pretty crazy, but not chaotic. Like the 13th floor one was good. It was actually at the hotel that we were staying at too, so we just had to go downstairs and walk across away from the bar.
Nice.
You know, I guess you could say it's chaos when you're in the trenches there and the show floor is open and whatnot. Fortunately, there was 4 of us running the booth, so we did 2-hour shifts. So 2 people were on, and myself and IHP's owner would go walk the floor, and then 2 hours later we'd come back and they'd go walk the floor. So it breaks up the monotony a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so but it's always great to get out there and, you know, people that want to know, you educate them on, you know, they ask questions and you're giving them the education they want. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
So talking in that line, was public speaking always natural for you?
No. I always struggle with public speaking. Where it kind of shifted a little bit more easier for me was in college. When I went back for the second time, I took a speech class, and I want to say once a month, everybody had to stand up and do a speech in front of the group. So you're sitting in the classroom, you're speaking to your classmates, and there's a window with a camera that's filming you. So you can get feedback from the teacher, and you get to see it yourself, you know. Mm. And I always had friends watching too in the class where they're like, if I was doing something wrong, like I would have a tendency to lean on the podium. Like my friend, she's like stand up straight, show your chest, you know. So that was cool. And then it started getting easier for me. Also what helped too is moving into a management position too. You have to, you speak to a fairly large group. They're listening to you because you basically give them the daily rundown of what happened the day before and what's expected for the day of type of thing. So, and once I did that, then I started getting into the realm of doing panels for conventions. I mean, the first one in Santa Maria for Haunt X was easy because there was like 6 or 7 other people up there with me.
Right.
I mean, most of the other panels I've done, it's been solo. I've been standing up in front of, at least a half crowded room, by myself. So, but panels is something that's very useful for people that want the information.
Right.
They can come to one place like Midsummer and get the information that is not always readily available on socials or online.
Right.
You can give them a little bit more insight. Yes, there's a time limit, but you can still give them a quick crash course. It's like, hey, got any more questions? Come and see me after we wrap here, or shoot me a message and go from there. I've been fortunate to be able to put together some panels and bring some other ideas aboard for Midsummer. I've done 1, 2 at Midsummer Scream. I've done 2 of my own panels. I spearheaded another one with Taylor, which I was supposed to be on, but I was actually in Florida this last season, so I couldn't be there. That was I can't remember what it was. Basically, topics on character technique and what it's like to be on that side of the veil. things of that nature. It turned out to be, you guys know who the bride is, right?
Yeah.
In Ghost Town, her and the snake in Ghost Town.
Oh yeah.
So those two spoke on it. Ted Doherty moderated.
Oh, that's
and I did, I did my 2 solo panels for Midsummer, and also I did another one at. Do you remember that other event they did, Season Screamings, in Pasadena?
I think so.
Yeah. So I did a panel for that one too. It was on the history of sliding. So I brought that one to Rick West's attention. He's like, "Yeah, let's do this." He didn't want to be a moderator, but I convinced him to do it. I said, "Dude, you've been there from almost the beginning, man. You got to moderate this."
There you go.
He's like, "Okay." But I brought in people from here and the East Coast, and the total years of experience on that panel was almost 100 years combined.
Wow,
that's incredible.
Yeah,
that's a lot of knowledge on a panel right there.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And the thing is too, they put us in the biggest room, and it was half full, and it's seated. At least from a visual look, that's 350 people in there.
Wow,
that's a large crowd.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, not gonna lie, when I walked down the stage and saw that, I kind of got a little nervous. But I wasn't up there by myself, thank God.
That helps. That helps.
Yeah.
That kind of leads to our next question here. Obviously, you're real passionate about this. What topics are you most passionate about discussing when you're talking about when you're at these panels and conventions?
Well, obviously, sliding is the main topic. I'm so well versed in that. But also character work in general, character development. What to expect. A lot of people don't know how kind of crazy it can be as a talent. Like, they don't understand, like, people really like to screw with you. And mind you, it's not as bad now as it was back in the day. Like, guests were way more aggressive back in the day.
No, I can't.
And on the physical side too, like, we wore body armor because of that.
Right.
Now, when I see it, they're more annoying than anything. There's still the handful that get aggressive and get touchy-feely, and that's not okay. But it's more the educational side of things on both sliding and just being a talent in general.
Right.
Wow. Do you feel responsibility representing the community?
You mean in general?
Mm-hmm.
It's
you're up there
loose.
on these panels. You are
the expert in the room.
The expert in the gotta be a feeling of responsibility in that.
100%. I do have that feeling. Being up there and explaining to them, and spreading the knowledge, but being one of the original creators of sliding, it's if I didn't feel responsible, it would be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
True.
You know what I mean? And it's not just because of how creative, but it's like, I want people to learn safely, and not just go out there and do the tricks from day one because that's all they see. They forget that there is a process that it took for the people that are doing all the tricks to get to that point.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it's probably tough too, because what they see online, the reels, the social media, they see all the flash, the sizzle reels is what the kids say, but it's like they don't realize those are performed with safety and years of experience. So it takes a while to get there.
The development process is intense and very intricate in that sense, and that's just for sliding in general.
Right.
Then you get into show development too. Oh my God, that's a whole different thing.
A whole nother beast.
And so there we are. So this last season, we had the unique experience of watching just that. I know it wasn't your first Sliders Unite show, but it was the first one we were there to see. And that was absolutely incredible. Yeah. What makes a great slider show?
Oh my God. Well, just to kind of key in on the Sliders Unite show this year, we had 6 hours total to arrange that show.
Man.
Yeah.
That's not enough time.
Well, yeah, no, it wasn't. Thank God what we did is the main structure we took from our daily show. Then we added some bits, some sequences. That way we can incorporate everybody. You know, when that happened, we had a 1 day, 4 hour practice, 1 day, 4 hour practice, which the boys from Florida weren't at. And then we had 2 hours prior to opening that night that we had to insert them. So they only got realistically 2 hours, but we had a total of 6 hours.
My God.
So that was, yeah, you know, going from like basically doubling the numbers from our nightly show to doing Sliders Unite for 2 shows. You know, and we had like 35 people in that. It was crazy. It was a little hectic, but you know, a handful of mistakes, but it's okay. You know, but
notice
the one thing. Yeah, I know you guys couldn't tell, thank God. You know. But one thing that a lot of people don't see is the development process and doing a regular nightly show like the Queen show this last season. It took months to build. Months. All the sequences, timing it with music, getting everybody's timing down with each other so there's no collisions, which there still was some, you know, but that happens when you're doing 60 plus shows a season, you know? Yeah. It's pretty crazy. So actually we did, I said 62 shows before. Actually, it was more because, we did 31 nights. So yeah, 62 shows, you know, but the process before that is painstaking. And, you know, one thing is too that I've run into a number of times is, you know, I've spoken to people in the past about wanting to hire the team, and they said, "Well, how much do you charge?" And I explained it to them. They're like, "Why so much?" I said, "Do you know how long it takes to develop a show?" I go, "What you're paying for at an extremely reasonable rate is not just for the time that they're here at your event, but for their time to develop the show. You know, and that takes months of their own time. You know." So it's, you know, sometimes they go, okay. And then some like, oh yeah, whatever. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about, for them, they want a lot for very little return, output.
They just think you're throwing on some gloves and some knee pads and just running and sliding, but there's a lot more that goes into that show.
Exactly. You know, that was a great parlay into that one. The show development.
Okay, what do you think separates memorable performers from your average performer? What makes somebody great?
I would say the engagement with their target. I say target, but you know, it's because that's who they're going for. How they interact with them. Lasting impressions stick when you can get inside their brain a little bit, or give them a really good scare in and out. So it has a lot to do with what the talent actually does in that engagement. It could be a 5-second engagement. It could be a 30-second to a minute engagement. You know, if somebody does something great in 5 seconds, they could be longer lasting memory than somebody that's sticking with them for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Take us back a little bit to how you got involved with the Queen Mary slider team, the QM slider team.
Turn the clock back. How many years ago was that? It's 2018.
2018.
Yeah, well, it was kind of, the way it worked out was, I guess you could say it was a fluke. That's 2018, January 2018 is when I moved back to California from Boston. I lived there for a year. I reapplied for Knott's, interviewed. I didn't get brought back. And then I applied for Queen Mary. And the weird part was, like, initially when I went in and talked to them, the position that I really wanted wasn't available. But the guy I was talking to, I was seeing all these other people having like 10, 15-minute interviews and out, right? And I kept sitting there and I'm looking around out of the corner of my eye, and I was sitting with that guy for at least 45 minutes that I can think of, just talking about everything. And at the end of that, he's like, okay, he's like, we'll give you a call and, and see what we can do. And then not even a day later, the same day, I got a call from David Wally, who him and his team ran all the talent for the event. And he calls me, he says like, hey, the thing is, David already knew me from 2016 for the first Sliders Unite. So he remembered me. And mind you, I hadn't talked to him in that time span at all. He has a photographic memory. And so he called me. He's like, so the streets manager position opened up, and I was wondering if you would like to take that. I'm cliff noting the conversation, and I'm like, absolutely. He's like, okay, when can you come down? So I think it was like a week later, or whatever. I went down to Queen and we started talking, and he's like, okay, this is what I want. He's like, you're going to handle all the street talent and the stage shows, the stage talent, and I want you to handle all the sliders too. I said, okay. I came in there and did that. Immediately started working with them, helped them develop the show. It's funny too, because he pulled me aside. He's like, I really need you to get these guys in line. I guess he had prior problems, and there was other residual things that were there before me that I had to fix too. So I was like kind of chipping away, trying to make it better. And so I was with them for 18 and 19. Then the pandemic hit.
Mm.
When I took over, when I started basically managing the Queen team outside of the event, there was a lot of talk about, hey, we want to do this. Oh, I know a guy that can do this and do that. And I was only going to be an advisor for them because that's what they asked for, right? And nothing was getting done. So I said, guys, you keep talking about this and nothing's getting done. So I just said, you guys are all here. I'm going to take over the team. What do you think? They're like, okay. And from that point on, I started really trying to network for them and get them some gigs. And at the time, they weren't getting any paid gigs yet. But once I started kind of getting things moving, we got a few paid gigs, and it turned out good for them because everybody actually got a little bit of money out of it at the end of which was great. I did that for a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. My goal was always to depart in 2 years. So I think it was just shy of 2 years that I was with them. And, but now I'm still connected to all those guys. I told them, it's like, hey, I'm here to help you. If you need me, let me know, and that's the way it's been, ever since. Like we separated, but they have their thing and I'm doing, my thing, and it's been great. I see them developing more. They're doing more things that we weren't doing before. They're evolving, and it's really good. They're doing this. Now they had this thing that just came up, which I thought it was a cool idea. They interviewed a boot camp recruit to talk about how he feels about boot camp and what he's gained out of it. It's like a series that they're doing. They do another series like, oh yeah, bring your friend to slide that's never done it before. And Tonto brought his girlfriend out for the first time and did it. So there's two things that you don't see that they're doing, that they're moving on, and it's great to see that. So, and then, now they're like, they're selling their merch on the Insane Haunt Productions marketplace platform as well.
Wow.
It's really cool. They have some momentum behind them now.
Awesome.
What are you most proud of with the QM team?
Their development and growth. They brought in some new talent this year that were on the show team. They were just strictly show team like I was. Like I'm not a part of the core unit of the Queen Mary Sliders. I'm just a show team guy. Mm-hmm. And they brought some, let me see, like 4 members on from the show team, and now their core team, which is great. And every single one of them is progressing. The whole team is progressing. It's great to see that. it plays a lot into how I envision sliding, the growth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What challenges come with maintaining a strong team?
Oh, the personalities, geez. You know, you have the people that run teams, and then you have people that want to have a say, but they're never around. You know, it's like, dude, you don't get to have a say if you're never here.
True.
Yeah.
You know, there has to be a level of structure to make things work. That's the tough part. But you know, when I did it by myself, all by myself, it was hard logistically to do everything on my own. But I had to do it on my own, or else things weren't going to move forward. But now they're handling it, and I think it's great. You know, so that's a tough part. Not to mention trying to get everybody on the same schedule to come to practice.
Yeah.
So
And you guys are
it's like a
up there.
dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, definitely. When you're looking for sliders, what qualities are you looking for?
It's kind of weird because I don't look like I don't say, okay, I'm looking for this in somebody. Like if I go to the rink and I see somebody sliding and I see potential in them, I try to find out who they are first before I talk to them. Once I find out, then I'll talk to them a little bit, pick their brain and see where they're at. Obviously they got to have the skill set though, you know, or the potential to be great. Coachability, I guess you could say.
That's an important one
No.
in so many facets of life. Coachability.
Yeah. But you know what? I can usually gauge that just from having a conversation with them if they're going to be coachable or not. You know, when it's talking about something as like sliding, and you know, I can get a feel for it's like, this person's not going to be coachable, or this person is going to do great and they're open minded.
Wow. Let's talk Slider Syndicate.
Yeah, my team in Florida.
Can you tell us about the origins of that connection?
So the origins goes back to 2019. The first year of they called it a West Coast style haunt on the East Coast was a thing called Dark Horizon that was in a hotel parking lot, and that was something that Epic Entertainment, my co-2 did, which at the time they were running Dark Harbor, and they did that event out there, and they wanted sliders, and they were telling me what they were going to do, and I said, well, that doesn't really make sense. You're bringing somebody out there, and you're just paying them, but you're not going to pay for their housing. How are they going to do that?
Right.
And they're like, well, what do you suggest? I said, well, how about you bring me and one other person out there to train people that are local? You know, I can run the audition, I can train them, get them up to speed to function without me on site. And they're like, oh, that's a great idea. Okay. And a week later, like, we need your information. You're going to Florida. You know, and back then there was only, I think there was like 8 sliders out there.
Oh, wow.
And that's kind of how it started. It didn't really, like, Syndicate didn't really come to fruition until within the last few years, but the concept was already in Jordan and Aiden's brains, with actually putting together a slider team in Florida. And the funny thing is that Jordan is a California born and raised kid, Orange County. And now he's out there and he loves sliding. He saw us do it back in the day when he was a kid, and he wanted to bring it out there because he'd already been doing it, him and his brothers. And once that connection happened, we've stayed in touch the whole time. Now he's one of my closest friends. One year, this is when we're already at SeaWorld in Orlando. He's like, I want to start this team and you know, and do other things. Like, my brain is thinking, hey, outside the community, outside the haunt community. And then he's like, but I can't think of a name. And I've been wanting to use the name Syndicate for a team environment for a long time. And I said, what about that? What about Syndicate? He's like, oh, you know, and it stuck. And now the team is like, I'm their main trainer, and we're business partners as well. They do, you know, they have their trainings out there too. They do their slide days out there too, which we'll get to that too. They just had one, which was amazing, that I went to. But the development of the sliding skill out there is insane. The growth out there has been exponential.
Wow.
It's crazy. Like from having 8 people in 2019, then hitting the pandemic, and then going to SeaWorld. And I think it was 2020. I've been there 5 years now. So I was at 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. This is going to be year 6. So in 2021 was my first year in Orlando training them. Starting from 8 sliders to, and having not enough people in the audition to fill quality people. We had to have a couple other people fill that I really had to work with to get them up to speed. To the next year having 40 people come out for auditions.
Wow.
40.
Wow.
Yeah. And the numbers increased to is either 15, 16, or 18 people. And I explained to them, okay, here's where we're at. Here's how many spots we have to fill. And from the first 20 minutes of auditions, I already knew who I was pulling for the core unit, and then the spots I needed to fill. So there's even less, like by the end of it. So it was very competitive. And now it's to the point now it's like I've had to cut people that are great sliders, but there's somebody that's edging them out. So they would get put into the spare role where if there's an opening for a night, they get to slide for the night. And sometimes there's talent that doesn't work out. They get brought in and then we have to replace them. That happens. But ever since then, I've had a strong connection with them. I talk to Jordan on a regular basis. Aiden every once in a while. She's all over the place with work and whatnot. So he is too. It's crazy. I can get in touch with him as much as I can. But yeah, we do a lot of things joint, and we talk about a lot of the future plans. Like I don't even know everything he has on his plate with the team, but I know he will tell me when the time is right. So, and going out to their first actual slide day, who, mind you, they had to cap because you had to stay under a certain number of people before you had to get a permit. So they had a sign-up list, a registration list, and they had to cap it at like 50 people. If he didn't cap it, they would have had 120 people plus influencers.
Wow.
Yeah. So it ended up being like 60 sliders and like 10 or 12 different influencers that were there. So there was a lot of drive there. And then there was, people coming to watch. And I kept telling Jordan, I go, dude, you better go on live. I want to see your guys' slide day. I didn't tell him I was coming. I didn't tell anybody on the team I was coming, so I showed up and I surprised them.
That's right.
How cool was that?
Yeah, he's like, what the hell? Same thing with Insane Haunt Productions, because he sponsored the event. So he provided, I don't know if have you guys ever been to Disney Springs?
It's been a really long
time ago, yeah.
A long time ago.
Okay, so there's this place there called Gideon's Cookies.
Okay.
Oh my God. They're amazing. And they're like this big.
No way.
Yeah. So IHP fronted money for 40 something cookies for that. Mind you, those things aren't cheap.
I can imagine.
Then,
No.
Yeah. And here's the thing too, and then he said, I'm going to donate a couple of raffle bags because they had a raffle, and he said he was going to send it. He's telling Jordan, don't worry, it'll get there. I get a text from Jordan. He's like, dude, I got to leave and camera stuff is there. I go, dude, maybe he sent it to Play Productions and he's going to drive it over. I don't know. But if he says it's going to get there, it's going to get there. So IHP gets there 45 minutes before me and surprises him. And then I come later and surprise him again. So he's got double whammy. Amusement Park Pirates, you've seen them, but you need to try them, dude. You need to try those cookies.
I know. Can we mobile order those to our house?
Nope. I wish, because I would have some.
I'll say, do they DoorDash?
Do they ship?
I looked it up specifically to order. They said they don't do any shipping because of the freshness.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. So, but that's how we're connected. And now, I go out there every year. I'm right now. Everything's in the works to go out there this year again to get the team up to speed. It's been great working with them. And like I said, the skill set and the learning curve is insane out there. I mean, Aiden is one that has stayed with it from Dark Horizon to now. And when she first started, she had no idea what sliding was. None. So yeah.
That's cool.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm just here to try this out. You know? So now she's one of the co-founders of the team.
Why would you say collaboration is important in this community?
It shows unification. Obviously, cross-pollination is good, especially now as social media plays such a heavy part, which is crazy. I mean, when we were young, there was no social media, you know? But the unification and showing, hey, people from different walks of life and areas can work together on this, you know? Especially, you know, my collaborations and partnerships with Syndicate and IHP, there's a lot of that there, you know, and that's getting out more and more too, that we're all working together to push the art form of sliding forward to a bigger scale.
So let's roll into IHP. No one here knows what that is. Can you tell us what IHP is?
Yeah, IHP stands for Insane Haunt Productions, and it's a company specifically catering to sliders. They sell sparking gear, which a lot of people like, and non-sparking gear, which I'm a non-sparking guy, because sliding was developed to be stealth, not flashy. But he offers both, and it's a product that caters to our community. You know, it's a niche community, and now that, you know, he's been around for 5 years now, and for the slider community to have something like that is great. He sells his branded gear, but he also sells pads from 187. And I think he's got some gloves coming out from them too as well that he's going to be selling soon. I don't know if he has them in-house yet, but yeah, he sells everything you need to be a slider.
Okay.
It's great. Steel toes, pads, gaskets, gloves, all the components you need, everything. And I'm fortunate enough to be in a business partnership with him. I joined forces with him to put my recaps on the market. We talked about it. He had been wanting to do something like that for a while, like the next level product. And he's like, let's do it. And we went forward and did it. And it's gone very well. The feedback has been very, very positive. Of course, you're not going to make everybody happy, so not everybody's going to be stoked on it, and that's okay. I don't care. Right. I developed them for a purpose and a need that wasn't being fulfilled. You know, so it mitigates a lot of the issues that sliders have with their gear when it comes to their pads. You know, not to mention they're way faster, and speed is good.
And what I think is great too, Scott, because when you started this, you kind of had to find your own gear at that time. Like there was no Scott Dietermann's before you to blaze the trail, so to speak. So I think it's great that you have this with this partnership with IHP, that it's basically a one-stop shop. If someone's wants to get into sliding, here you go. Here's all the gear you need. It's been tried and tested, and it's ready to go. It's ready to go.
Yeah. I've never, I mean, there was never any Slider Dynamix signature product. This is the first of more coming. Wow. Obviously it all takes, you know, the financial backing and having the greenbacks to do it, you know.
Yeah.
But there are more plans in my brain and his brain of what's to come next. So we hope that could really come to fruition. But yeah, back in the day, like the first set of pads I had were garbage. I don't know why I was even sliding on those, you know. But yeah, like the gloves now, complete change. Like, I mean, I was getting flat metal rods and bending them around my finger.
Jeez.
To glue on, you know, on the glove, so I'd have protection, you know, and washers. And now I use all my gloves. I don't use any glue anymore. It's all Velcro, and it's been doing that for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Are you allowed to talk about anything that is in the development with IHP?
I cannot.
All right. I had to try.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Yeah, it's only because they're still in the early stages of design process.
But there are,
we still have
to come.
Yes, very much so. And it's a lot of stuff that's in my brain. He knows it's in my brain. I haven't given him full disclosure to it yet. So it's tough. But when the time is right, we'll sit down and talk about it, and then really pull the trigger. It's a lot of it too is about finding the right manufacturers for it.
Mm-hmm. In due time.
And that can be, and that can be a battle in itself. It really can.
Imagine.
But I'm excited for that part. The gear stuff. I wish I was able to do this years ago. I wish I had the knowledge I have now when I was in my 20s and 30s at this phase. I think it would have been different for me. But back then I was developing, even when I didn't have the idea of having Slider Dynamix as a business. Yeah. I was still developing ways to help increase longevity in sliding for myself. And if people asked, I can pass on that knowledge. And now I do that on a regular basis. It's crazy on what these guys do now, but I still get people to understand, hey, you can do this for a long time, a very long time, and quit when you want, not because you forced to because of injury. I'm not saying that it's been the plan, but I've been very fortunate that I haven't had any really major injuries. But at the same time, it ties into the training that I put myself through. I've always, I'd say 99% of the time, been in a good place physically to be able to do it. I've had a few years where I went into haunt very heavy, like physically, over 200 pounds, like 210.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And those were the years. I think it was like 2 years. I was pretty heavy. I didn't feel good physically, but I pushed through it, and I burned a lot of that weight off, a lot of it. So now it's like, okay, I'm not exactly where I want to be weight wise, but I'm in a good spot and it's manageable.
There you go.
For me. So, and I can still slide without feeling the aches and pains the next day.
That's important.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Scott, is there anything that you want to share that we didn't touch on tonight?
I'm actually going over the list too, just to make sure. We touched a little bit on the management journey. Just so people know, when I switched into management, I'd already been talent for almost 20 years. Wow. Actually, no, almost 20 years, because I moved into management in 2010. And it's because I felt like it was time for me to transition. To move out of the full-time role as a talent and move into management and start developing talent for the next generation. And as I did that, I started realizing I get more joy out of watching people develop and go out there and be really good at what they enjoy for however long they want to, and as I was able to go through that, obviously you guys know knots has been a major part. That's where my roots are, and that's where a lot of my experience comes from. But I also have been able to move into other areas. I was at knots. I went to Hayride. I've been at Dark Harbor. Hayride there was no sliding involved at all. I just took on one of the mazes. It was Midnight Mortuary. No, not Midnight Mortuary. Was it Midnight Mortuary or Mortem Manor? No, Midnight Mortuary. Sorry, I'm getting these two mixed up. And I took on that venue and just ran with it. It was a tough year, but it was great. And then now I still, like I said, I don't have to be at an event to continue to mentor and develop talent. I can do that anywhere. And it's been pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. It's great to see these guys completely grow and get better and still ask questions. They don't not ask questions. They want to continue to grow.
What are you most excited for next? Well,
I'm excited for the Choc event. That's the big thing. I'm I always try to plan things out, but it's hard, because what I do is such a niche thing. You know, the growth is always something I love seeing. I love seeing more and more people do this every year. When we did our slide day here, a bunch of new people came out for that. We had people come from all the way up past Six Flags down to San Diego.
Wow.
Yeah, and we still have people from San Diego that come up for boot camp for the Queen Mary boot camp, and that's great to see.
Now,
I interact with them every so often.
So people know who can show up for that. Is it just people curious about sliding? Someone has decided they want to start sliding?
All of the above.
All of the above. So people are welcome to come to these events, even if they are brand new and have never been there before.
Exactly. What I always suggest, like if somebody's brand new and they're unsure, I've told probably a dozen people this is like, if you're not sure, that's okay. Come to boot camp to watch, observe and see what's going on. And then from there, you can decide whether or not you want to try it. If you're brand new, you're ready to sliding, definitely come out and join the boot camp, learn some new skill set, get better. And it's great, to see that, their boot camps are pretty solid. It's a lot of the same people keep coming back now because they're really getting a lot from it every so often. But this last boot camp, which was last Saturday, I think I saw half a dozen new people that I hadn't seen at boot camp before.
Awesome.
So yeah, and that's great. That's the kind of thing I'd like to see.
Yeah.
Scott, are they required to bring their own gear, or is sliding gear provided coming to boot camp?
No, they have to have their own gear. Okay. I mean, think of it how much it costs for gear.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, we don't have the Queen team doesn't have money to provide gear for people.
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I could do that. I wish I was independently wealthy. I could have a dozen or 2 dozen full complete sets of slider gear. It's like, hey, what size are you? Here you go. But that's just not in the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
So, because the quality gear is not cheap. It's not cheap.
I bet. A lot of time and resources that go into building. Some gear.
And see, that's the thing too. Is like with my recaps coming out now, the evolution of that product, and it's going to evolve again the next time I, go, manufacture another batch. But it's designed, one, obviously for more protection, to go faster, and to protect the pad itself too, because every slider will say this, is that there's this pesky issue with the actual pad, the fabric on the pad burning through to the foam that's right where the plastic cap ends and the pad continues. You slide on that, it's going to burn through. So my caps prevent that because they're made longer.
I see.
Yeah. So, yeah, it is. And the thing is, too, I made them so if people want them shorter, they can take a hacksaw to them and cut them down.
There you go.
Yeah. And they're universal fit for every brand of pad that sliders use today.
Wow.
That's awesome. Universal.
Yeah. 100%. That was my goal from the start.
Scott, you had mentioned just a second ago, you talked about the haunted hayride. I'm assuming they don't have any sliding team there, any sliding show element. In your opinion, what other theme parks, maybe including the haunted hayride, where would you like to see some type of sliding in these other theme parks that haven't embraced sliding as other theme parks that we have now?
Well, hayride, it's not possible because it's on grass and dirt.
Okay, so there's no anywhere on the premises there.
Yeah,
some type of a sliding show.
Exactly. I mean, if they wanted that, they could probably bring in flooring, but as is, there's no space for it, and which is fine. Not every event has to have it.
Sure.
I know HHN Hollywood had it back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
From what I recall, when they switched stunt divisions, they went from, I think it was WSI, now it's Action Horizons.
Mm-hmm.
Once they did that, the sliders went away.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. From what I understand, they don't want the ground to get messed up, which I get. It would be nice to see them back there.
Absolutely.
HHN Orlando. That's a big one, and I've Jordan and I have walked the footprint in that spot a number of times, and there's a perfect spot to have sliders and a show. Perfect spot on the footprint.
Oh wow.
You know, and not even during HHN. It could be because they do a Mardi Gras event too.
Oh, that is right.
So, you know, it's again, sliding can be done outside the haunt realm as an entertainment package. It'd be cool to see that at Disney too.
I would absolutely love that. I mean, between both parks, between Disneyland Park itself and California Adventure Park, there's definitely room to have some type of a non-spooky, family-friendly type of sliding dynamic show, if you will. I think it's incredible.
Yeah, I know Castle Park. I know they just went through changes and their whole entertainment team got let go, but before that, they had a small Mardi Gras slider show.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. You know, it was on a smaller scale, but the fact that it was there and people were watching was a cool thing. You know.
Do you
so I mean,
a Castle Dark this year?
From what I hear, no.
Okay.
Because they're going through a transition, you know, with them getting bought by another company. I don't know. That's just speculation. Yeah, I mean, it would be cool to see it, but you know, maybe they're going in a different direction with that park. Who knows? You know, I was this close to actually getting in there and auditioning and training their team too.
Oh man.
Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah, and you know, Carter just mentioned the sliding reindeer at Six Flags. I saw clips of that, and that was cool.
That's right.
Yeah, it was cool to see that. I haven't been to Six Flags in a while. The last time I went, I think, was 22. No, 21.
It's been a minute.
Yeah,
a long time.
It has. It's a long drive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I drove out there on a Friday late morning, and it took me over 2 hours to get there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like, I'm staying at a hotel at the bottom of the hill from Six Flags for the weekend. I'm not driving home tonight.
Mm-mm.
So I ended up going 2 days, you know, Saturday and Sunday, and driving home Monday afternoon.
That's a good plan.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to see, like I said, sliding in other places. Some areas just, you know, it doesn't make sense. You know, it's like, it's not the thing we're going for. Cool. You know, it's not for everybody.
Mm-mm. Yeah. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Scott, what legacy do you hope to leave in the slider community?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I just want people to, one, be more positive with each other. You know, continue to, you know, people want to learn, you know, don't turn them away. You know, have good conversations with them about it. You know, direct them in the right, you know, push them in the right direction. And I guess the legacy would be to see it constantly growing after I'm quote unquote retired. You know, even when I'm dead and I'm upstairs and I'm looking down and I keep seeing it grow. You know? So for anything like personally driven, I'm not really about that. I just want to see the business flourish, or the art form flourish even more. You know, that was a big reason why, like, on the for the Choc thing, I didn't attach my name to the coalition, because I want the group to get, you know, I want the group and the event to get the exposure. You know, I mean, yeah, people know now that I put that together, and if people ask, of course, I'll tell them that. But it's not about saying that, because I could have said, you know, Slider Coalition by Slider Dynamix is not. It wasn't about that. It's about the event and the group for the kids.
We're excited that you are helping us with that. It's a big part of it, and you're absolutely one of the biggest parts of it. What do you want people to understand about this world, this haunt community, the slider community, that they may not see?
I guess all the hard work that goes into it. People think we're all weird and whatnot because we spend so much time in this, but it's a passion and a labor of love for a lot of people, including me. These people don't just come in and think they can do it. They want to be good at it. If people understood that more, one, they would realize, hey, there's actual human beings behind the makeup and the characters. I think that would reduce some of the aggressiveness even more that we have out there. And I think it would cause more, a higher level of respect for what these guys put in to it across the board. It's a lot of hard work, and I think that on the talent level, I think there could be a bit more appreciation for it, because I don't care how good an event is. If you don't have the quality talent to fill it, it's going to go flat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's just, people can hate me for saying that, but it's true.
Yeah.
And that goes for theme parks and pro haunts, alike.
Yeah.
Your event won't operate without the right people filling it to lower the boom on these guests and entertain them.
So true.
So
and keep them coming back.
Exactly.
Because that's really the direction haunts have gone in. Is before 20 plus years ago, you were lucky to go once a season.
That's it.
Yeah.
And now it's about returning every night.
Yeah.
Returning 2 times, 3 times, 4 times a week for the whole 6-week roughly run. And but be it not, I was so impressed with the Queen Mary last year. So impressed. I am quite sure we will be buying the pass to be able to go there multiple times. And also SeaWorld San Diego Hallow Scream. Also, that one is coming along so nicely. I would definitely like to experience that more than one time this season, maybe several times this season. And that's really saying something. Getting someone to come once is one thing, but getting people to return multiple times like that's not an easy feat.
No, it's not. That's one park I'd like to see level up their sliders too, is SeaWorld San Diego. Yeah, if anybody from SeaWorld San Diego is listening, hit me up. I can get you guys to the next level.
Yes.
They have 2 guys out there, from what I understand.
Yeah.
But it was really cool with the DJ and them doing their thing. There's so much room for growth right there. What you could do with that situation would be phenomenal.
They could easily add a sliding crew, 5, 10 more sliders, call it 15 sliders out there. There's so much room, like you were saying, for growth at Hallow Screams in San Diego. And I think that would bring a lot more people in to that location if you had that other little form of entertainment as well. And they put on a great show there.
I'm telling you, the stage show they have, it may be better than any of the parks.
It's a really good show.
It may be better than any of the parks. It's top quality. It's a very beautiful production.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I was so impressed with their production, their stage, the dance, and all the different facets of entertainment they brought with that performance.
The musicians, the singers, beautiful. All of it, the theatrics, the lighting,
all of it. It was second to none. It was second to none. It was beautiful. And so
I don't have the time to get down there, and it kind of bums me out.
And the nice
I'd love to see it.
The nice thing with SeaWorld is it is on a smaller scale. So getting through it isn't as hard as you may think. It closes at 11. If you get there when it opens, you can easily get through it all. Because they've got to keep it away from the animals enough that they're not the noises aren't scaring any of the creatures there. So
Yeah.
it is doable. It starts early enough, I believe, before a couple of the other haunts that you can hit it in the beginning and not miss out.
Yeah, early in the season.
Yeah.
Now, from what I understand too, with the whole Slider thing, there's not a Slider community down there at all in San Diego. There's a few people, which I mentioned I speak to every so often. I want to help them build a community down there.
That'd be so nice.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I think that San Diego is close enough that if they did an audition, that people would come for it.
I think so. I think so.
I agree.
Any questions from the chat?
Any questions from the chat, you guys? Well, we've got Scott here.
Fire away, people.
If you guys got any questions, I did see earlier. I know this is probably a hard question to ask because there's probably different levels to the gear. If someone was coming in brand new, they're just starting, they're not pros, what are you kind of budgeting to maybe start this? Maybe someone wants to buy their teenager gear for Christmas or birthday. What's your starter gear looking like?
Bare minimum would be knee pads, steel toes, and the gloves. That's bare minimum. As you develop, as you progress and get better, you can add the core elements, like some of the stuff, like all the stuff I wear, all the different components I strongly recommend because it helps create longevity, and keep things safe. But yeah, knee pads, and some people will get cheaper knee pads. I don't recommend that. I recommend going with a top-notch brand pad already, because that way when you're starting on that, you learn on that. One, that's what you get used to. Two, your pad gets broken into how you feel. So by the time you're in a good place, you're starting to, really increase your skill set, your pads are already good to go.
That's a great point. Like, don't skimp out on the knee pads. That's what sliding is all about. You're
injuries
on
not
your
worth
knees
it
the entire time.
Yeah. I'm gonna call out one of the San Diego peeps real quick right here. So at the boot camp that I ran for Queen, Grace from San Diego came up for it. No, it wasn't boot camp. It was or was it a boot camp? I don't know. It was one of the days she came up, and she was on her pads. It was free slide day. No, it was the day. I'm brain farting right now. It was the day I ran for Queen. We did all the drills, and then after drills, we had free slide. And I told her, take your pads off. She's like, why? I go, just take your pads off. And then I gave her mine. I said, now put these on. And once she put them on, I said, now go slide. She hit the ground, and the look on her face was like, because it was night and day. She's like, oh, these are great. Go play. Go run around with them for like 30 minutes. So I let her slide on them for a while. It was a big change for her, because my pads are way faster, obviously with my caps on there too. But she ended up getting, she had a set of recaps. She just didn't have Velcro to put them on. So once she got them fixed onto her pads, now her pads are better for her, with the recaps, because that's a little bit of a game changer as well. So, but I wanted her to see the dichotomy between one pad and another. It's like the upper echelon, the high end pad, and a standard pad. What it brings to the table. So, yeah, it was crazy to see that. I knew the look on her face, what it was going to be, because when Paul tested, when Vertigo, he was one of the guys that did testing on my recaps before I produced them. She had the same look on his face that he had the first time she hit the ground on him. It was the holy cow look. Like,
wow.
Yeah. So, that's kind of something that ties in that we were talking about the level of gear. So you can fudge it a little bit, obviously, but if you can do it, get the quality gear right off the bat.
Sounds good. That makes sense to me.
Well, I'd like
Yeah,
to
don't do what I had to go through
no,
with garbage gear.
no garbage gear for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to take this moment, Scott, to promote the fundraiser that we have. Let people know that you are putting together this amazing team of sliders, the Slider Coalition, to show some fun stunts and demos and hang out, take pictures. Great opportunity to talk to you guys, get to know you guys. You guys are going to have an amazing photo opportunity there. This again is in Southern California. We're going to be at 120 West Civic Center Drive in Santa Ana from 12 to 4 on the 13th of June. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. You guys have seen Scott here on the show twice. You can come and meet him and a bunch of sliders from SoCal on that day for a really good cause. It's all going to Choc. There's going to be music and food and sweets and awesome vendors. We're putting together, curating a great list of vendors there. I hope you will come and join us if you are local to the Southern California area. Come support this awesome cause, Silas's Haunt for Hope. It's nothing scary. No one is going to be there in costume to scare everybody. It is a family-friendly event, but it's definitely a good opportunity for the haunt community to come out and support and be a part of a great cause. And Scott, it really was you who planted the seed in my head when you shared that story. And I can't thank you enough for sharing that, A, and B, letting me pull on your brain strings there, and saying yes and putting the work in behind the scenes. It means the world to us, not just us. There's so many that it means something to. Our daughter who lost her son, our whole family and extended family. There's other Choc babies on this team. We've got people with family that has been at Choc. This reaches so far and wide. I just need you to know that and how important it is to us and how grateful we are for you. Thank you for coming on here once again and sharing your talent, your expertise, your guidance. You just have so much to share.
Yeah, I sometimes I do, but I'm honored that you guys asked me to help you with this event. Not only for the community, but for to raise money for a great cause.
Right.
It's not something that always happens. To have an opportunity like that, and I can help out in some small way is huge.
Well, you're helping out in a really big way, and we're just beyond grateful.
And like I said, thank you. I appreciate you wanting to bring me on as a part of it. I really do.
Any closing words before we close out?
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Much appreciated. Let me see here. Somebody said something. You're welcome, Miss Garcia. I appreciate you. The fans are why we do what we do. And Mr. MH Reels.
Dominion
Thank
Mike.
you.
No, Dominion Mike.
Dominion Mike.
He is a long time. You probably know him. I'm trying to think of.
I do. Is that Lost Boy Mike?
Yes, Lost Boy.
That's Lost Boy Mike. Yeah, he and I go way back. What's up, Mike?
He says, do people still put wax on the floor?
Yes, they do. And on pads too. It varies on the area though. Some places don't like it on the ground, so you put on your pads. It deposits it on the ground, but it's not as heavy. So, but now there's flooring out there too, which is, the flooring's been around for decades, but people didn't start using it until probably in the last 5 or 6 years. Yeah. And boy, is that is so great. Yeah. You can put it on grass
together
and still have floor to slide on.
That would be neat. What does one need to put together a floor like that?
Well, there's a company out there called Vivor that sells it. Another company called Race Deck. All it is have you ever watched any roller hockey before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so their floor is like plastic tiles, and it's the same flooring.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
didn't know that.
That's cool.
yeah, it's the same flooring. It's you can get them different sizes. Like most of them are 12 by 12s, but they even have synthetic ice that comes in bigger sheets. It's like you can get them by like
That would
3 or 4 feet by 2 feet or something like that. But that stuff is really expensive, like thousands and thousands of dollars
Jeez.
for what we need. So, but yeah, that's the next thing. Like when I was in Florida, they had a bunch of those flooring sections put out, but I was actually sliding on the asphalt there too because the asphalt there is good in that one space. Yeah.
Cool. That works out.
So
That works out.
yeah. But other than that, thanks to everybody for tuning in and listening to my jabber.
We love it.
And supporting Living Dead Fam on their FogCast here. Yeah, and if you can come out on June 13th to the Dr. Willie Waffle House and support and kick down a donation or so to help them out, it'd be amazing.
Awesome. Scott, where can our audience find you on social media?
Social media, you guys can find me on Instagram, Slider.Dynamix, Dynamix spelled Dynamix. Email slider.dynamix@gmail.com. Those are the 2 spots basically you can really find me, but Instagram is always the best location to hit me up. DMs and everything go right to there, so it's the best way.
And we'll go ahead and link that, in the description. Sure. Scott, thank you so much. We can't thank you enough. And on behalf of the sliding community, the haunt community, you are a pioneer. You are a leader in this community, and I'm not a slider myself, but I think for everyone that's followed in your footsteps, everyone I'm sure can thank you for what you do and giving back.
Torn.
Living Dead nephew, exactly. Yes, thank you so much, Scott, for all you do and giving back to this entire community, coast to coast, globally. You are a gem, my friend. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Before we let you go, I like to end every interview with this question. One final question. I asked you before in our previous episode, and maybe your answers changed, maybe they haven't, but gratitude's so important for both Living Dead and myself. What are 3 things, Scott, that you are grateful for today as we sit here right now?
Well, one is my health, 100%. I had asthma growing up as a kid. So not having that anymore and still being healthy and whatnot, I'm stoked for that. Very, very grateful for the fact that I can still slide at 54 years old at a high level.
Amen to that.
And honestly, you guys, I'm grateful for the opportunity to help you guys with this charity event. I really am. Like, I'm not even blowing smoke. This is like when you guys asked me last time, I was like 100% yes, because it's something I've always wanted to do, and to be able to do it with people that I know, and that I'm friends with family members and everything. It just makes it that much better.
Thank you. We're grateful for you. We're grateful for you.
Thank you.
The feels.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you again on the 13th, and everyone else that's out there that are listening or watching this episode, please come out to the 13th of June.
13th
like
of
what
June.
month is it? Which is approaching really fast, guys.
Just a little over a month away.
Again, and thank you all for tuning into tonight's episode. Where can they find this episode at?
So you can find this obviously right here on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, iHeart, and I think there's another. I forget.
Amazon, right? Did we say
Amazon, iHeart, Spotify,
wherever you consume
Apple
podcasts.
Apple Podcasts, wherever you consume your podcast. This will be uploaded there tomorrow morning.
Awesome. And thank you everyone in the chat. Thank you, our moderators, Ninja Watchers. Much love to all of you. And again, one more time, Scott, thank you so much for this episode.
Absolutely.
tonight.
Thanks again for having me back on. Very honored.
And you are more than welcome to do this anytime again. We would love to chat with you in future episodes.
Hey, that's up to you guys. If you guys have something you want to chat about, you let me know and we can plan it.
Let's do it, friend.
Awesome.
Let's
We'll
do
carve
it.
out some time with you at the event as well, as we will be live at that event watching all you guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. So everyone,
Got to plug that event.
Support that. Yes. Yes. All right. We're going to put you backstage real quick. Don't go anywhere though. We'll be right there.
Awesome.
All right.
That was very
cool.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, it was there was so much we didn't get to through the first time. I'm so glad that he was able to come back and chat it up with us again one last time.
Well, we would have gone like 5 hours, and
easily.
So we definitely needed to break that up into 2 parts, and I'm so glad we did. And we had so much more to share now because so much has developed because of that interview to where we're at today. And now we've got this really cool event that we're planning. It's crazy. It's scary. We're really hoping you guys will come out and support that in one way, shape, or form. Share it, even if you aren't in the area. Maybe you know people that are in the area. A lot of the details, most of the details are going to be on our Instagram. Our newest flyer is on there. We're adding amazing raffle prizes. Everyone that donates to our Choc Walk, our link is linked right there. Everyone that donates to our Choc Walk fundraiser, to anybody on our team, not just us, anybody on our team is going to be eligible for these raffle prizes. We're going to have raffle prizes there at the event. One of them is going to blow your mind.
Oh, yeah.
Blow your mind. I'm not overhyping it. It is amazing. And then when the Choc Walk ends, we're going to have another set of raffles for everybody that donated wherever you are in the United States of America that we are going to ship out to you guys. A lot of our team members are coming up with raffle prizes. It's really going to be cool. So please stay tuned. And whoever you donate to on our team, they are also going to be eligible for that raffle. It doesn't just have to be under Living Dead Fam or the Living Dead Mom account. So we're just so grateful. We're grateful for everyone that's walking with us. If you are local in Southern California and want to walk with us, use that link. Go to the team, Silas's Spooky Squad, and sign up. It's $10 to register. It's $125 to get to the walk. If you don't live in the area, you can still sign up and do fundraising and not walk. You can still be a part of the cause. There's so many ways to participate. And if you don't want to do any of that, you can share. You can share about the event, share out this podcast, share our stuff on Instagram. We are grateful for all of it. It takes a lot for this to be a successful event. We're nervous.
We're nervous, but excited at the same time.
At the same time. Yeah, it's really a lot goes on behind the scenes. Thank you to our team, to Scott. He is doing a lot of work. We've got another person that's going to be walking with us, Jamie South from Nocturnal Dolly. She is doing a lot, and Luis, our head investigator, we cannot say enough. Luis is putting together all the vendors, and she just is doing such an amazing job because I am not capable of that. I am a great cheerleader in the back and share. And all the vendors that are donating things. We put together some unboxings today. We're going to be putting those videos out. So just so much going on, and we're so excited about this, to have this opportunity to share with the world basically about our grandson, and not just our grandson, but all of the children that these hospitals take care of, whether the families can afford it or not. These hospitals are there for these children, and it's so important. to raise money and fundraise for this entity to do what they're doing out there. Their reach is wide. It really is wide. So thank you guys. Thank you for doing this with us. Thank you for helping us turn pain into purpose. And we're just really having a good time with meeting you guys and spreading our story.
Absolutely. And thank you guys that have already contributed to Children's Hospital
So
Orange
many,
County. There's
yeah.
so many names to list off. There's several of you, but just from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for showing your love, not only to our family, but to Children's Hospital Orange County. It goes to help the babies and the families and the staff there in need, and every dollar helps. So
Every
thank
dollar.
you, thank you, thank you.
And tomorrow we will be live streaming from Disneyland again, and we will be continuing our Choc Walk challenge, which is for every $20 donated to our team, Living Dead Fam or Living Dead Mom, we're going down that Tiana's run one time. We have accumulated 28 times we've got to go down. We've done 7 of those, so we've got 21 more, unless you guys keep giving us the challenge money to keep on going. We're going to do it every Friday until we can't. Next month, we'll probably have to change it to Thursdays. That's okay. But for every $20 donated or accumulating of $20 donated, we are going to be in that park going on Tiana's.
I have to invest in some wetsuits or,
I know.
or swimsuits or something.
I know. We came out of there cold, cold last Friday, and we're gonna do it again tomorrow.
That's
so,
right.
but it makes our hearts happy. So it's okay. It's all going to an amazing cause.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys again for tuning into tonight's live stream of the Living Dead Fan Presents the podcast, episode 11, with our good friend Scott Dieterman. Thank you guys again so much. We love and appreciate you guys. And with that said, Living Dead Mom,
We will see you all
a little later
good night, guys.
in the fog.
In the fog.